Yo, welcome everyone. Bitcoin is dumping and we are breaking some major support levels. That's why I want to warn you about a potential bearish scenario right now playing out. Let me show you. The bottom of our major horizontal range is right now getting a breakdown. Not only that, applying our high-term time frame areas of support on the chart, the weekly level is also right now getting a breakdown, and at least as right now, it is still acting as the area of resistance. Bitcoin only a couple of hours ago got a very small bounce exactly at our daily level after, surprisingly or maybe not, taking the liquidity below the recent low. And it really does look like people at this specific area really have zero idea of what they are doing in the market. Remember a couple of days ago I told you I entered a fresh short position on Bitcoin, on Ethereum, on XRP, and also on Solana. And yes, we are looking for short positions at the area of resistance. People trading right here are right now continue entering brand new short positions. How do I know that? CVD indicator on the move towards downside was clearly seeing a push down. Additionally, open interest was increasing. So what does that actually mean? People entering brand new short or sell positions directly at the area of support. No way personally I would go with a short position after Bitcoin has already gotten a push down of approximately 10%. At this specific area, I would only be looking for another long position because ideally as of right now, we would like to see a bounce towards the upside towards the area of approximately 119,000 US dollars. And yesterday, I'm going to share with you the importance of this specific level and also why Bitcoin potentially can actually go towards 108,000 US dollar area. But people that entered a short position right here probably are going to get squeezed out if Bitcoin does see right now a bounce towards the upside, or simply some of them have already gotten liquidated because it really does look like we already got a very nice liquidation spike only a couple of hours ago. But why right now ideally I want to see a bigger short squeeze? Simply because I am looking for a bigger ABC correction right now potentially playing out. Already yesterday, I posted a very important chart where I said this remains the main plan for Bitcoin. Let's see if we get a bounce soon. So as of right now, yes, we hit a daily area of support. Yes, we already took some liquidity below the recent low, but to be honest right here, this level is really not the biggest area of support. So that is why I am not super confident in a bounce towards the upside right here. However, it is still going to be my main plan, the ideal plan I would right now like to see playing out. Why so? Because on the push towards upside, we can right now say Bitcoin completed its W wave. As of right now, if we do see a bounce towards the upside, we are then going to be forming our X wave, which would very nicely align with the short squeeze we can right now potentially be expecting. Because later in the video, I also want to talk about liquidations, which would perfectly align with the short squeeze and also with our X wave. After the X wave is finished, only then, ideally, we would like to see another major push towards the downside. And let me right now share with you why this specific area at our weekly level is such an important price target. Not only because of liquidity that we are going to talk about slightly later, but also because once we talk about our Fibonacci levels, we are going to measure the entire push down with Fibonacci retracement. The minimum price target of our X wave is going to be 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level, coming in at approximately 118.4 thousand US dollars. And if we right now also go with our weekly level, it also does look like it is going to come in at approximately our 0.5 Fibonacci retracement price target. Now, additionally, what if we are measuring the entire upper price action with our volume? It really does look like point of control, the biggest volume cluster, is coming in at our 0.5. So let's see right now if Bitcoin is going to be able to see a bounce towards the upside, form our X wave before actually then continuing our way lower, maybe even towards the area of 108,000 US dollars. Because right now we still need to talk about our bigger rising wedge pattern Bitcoin can be forming on the daily time frame. Before we do so, I would really appreciate for you to smash up the like button, because 1,100 likes are really possible, and also thank you for subscribing to the channel. Let me right now share with you why the area of approximately 108,000 US dollars is going to be such an important price target when we talk about our WXY correction. So yes, if Bitcoin does right now see a bounce towards the upside in the next couple of hours, we also can right now measure the price target of our Y wave. But how are we going to do that? Simply, we need to go with our Fibonacci extension, measuring the entire push towards the upside, putting the third pivot approximately at the target of our X wave. So let's see, we are going to top out at approximately 119.3 thousand US dollars at our weekly level. Right now, you're actually going to see the 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension price target on Bitcoin is going to come in at 107,000 US dollar area. And trust me, this specific level is really not a random level. What we are right now going to do, when we talk about our high term time frame levels, it really does look like two important daily levels are coming in exactly at our 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension at 108 and 106,000 US dollar area. And additionally, we can even go one step further. What we are right now going to do, let me actually keep our daily levels on the chart, because I'm right now going to share with you why this specific price target is also aligning literally perfectly with a major golden Fibonacci ratio. From our swing low back towards the swing high, applying the golden pocket on the chart, it is going to land almost exactly at our 1-to-1, almost exactly at our daily. And we are not even done yet. What if we right now go with our anchored VWAP and anchor it exactly at this specific low? It really does look like another major level is coming in exactly at this specific area, which could then potentially mean if Bitcoin right now does continue lower, we are going to look for Bitcoin to bottom out at approximately 108, 107,000 US dollars before continuing towards another all-time high. Now, of course, do not get me wrong. I am not saying Bitcoin right now must continue lower. Sure, we can still continue towards another all-time high. But the reality right now is, unfortunately, we are entering a downtrend also on the 4-hour time frame, looking at our exponential moving averages. So when we right to go with our EMAs, as you probably know, on the 1-hour time frame, already a couple of days ago, we entered an average downtrend. On the 2-hourly, we are also in a downtrend. On the 4-hourly time frame, only a couple of hours ago, we also entered another fresh downtrend right here. So that is why, unfortunately, Bitcoin is at the moment not really looking super bullish. That is why I am not predicting and saying to you that Bitcoin does have a higher probability of literally right now forming another all-time high. We are in a downtrend on the 4-hourly, 2-hourly, and the 1-hourly time frame. And additionally, as you probably know, we are still trading below our major volume level, below the value area low. Unless the value area low at 115.7 thousand US dollars is going to be reclaimed, we need to stay slightly more bearish, maybe even expecting lower targets. But as I said before, ideally, I would like to see value area low to be reclaimed. We look for our bigger XL8 wave to then be put in literally in the next couple of days right here, and only after that, Bitcoin to continue lower towards 108,000 US dollars. This specific prediction actually would also very nicely align with Bitcoin monthly returns. Remember, in September, usually the month is going to be slightly more red. So that is why if we are going to then continue lower in the month of September, is really going to nicely align with Bitcoin monthly returns from the previous years for the month of September. Let's see what's going to happen, but I would still say we can take the advantage of the volatility right here for us to fire another long, maybe even another short or sell position on the Bitcoin chart itself. That is why make sure you take advantage of the free bonuses without KYC and without VPN on BTC exchange, because as of right now, yes, we are hosting a very exclusive campaign and you still do have 7 days for you to get your bonuses. You're going to get, after you register and after initial deposit, VIP level 3, you're going to get a 20% deposit bonus, and also for brand new users, you can get up to 40 USDT in future bonuses. Make sure you sign up, deposit, and secure some insane free bonuses. Right now, let me also share with you another reason why ideally in the next couple of days I would like to see a bounce towards the upside. And that is going to be when we go with our Achler stochastic CG oscillator on the daily time frame. It really does look like that as of right now we are being in the oversold area. Last time this specific indicator was in oversold, we got a significant push up literally straight towards another all-time high. So this right here clearly is going to be a bullish Bitcoin indication. Not only that, let me right now go with the RSI indicator on the daily time frame, because it also does look like we are trading at some very important levels. Last time we were at this specific area, Bitcoin got a bounce right here. The level was also hit right here, another bounce towards the upside. Also right here, we hit the support level, another bounce towards the upside. So no, I am not talking subjectively right now that I would like to see bounce towards the upside. A lot of different indicators, for example RSI, Achler stochastic CG oscillator, are right now being oversold. That is why I am telling to you, ideally I want to see bounce towards the upside, towards our major area of resistance right here, and then we are going to go from there if Bitcoin does see a rejection back towards upside. And let me right now share with you why this specific area is also going to be an important level once we talk about the Bitcoin liquidation heat map on the 1 week time frame. Pay attention right now to where Bitcoin does have its biggest liquidations. They are not going to be below our recent lows, but actually above the recent highs, exactly at the area of resistance I just mentioned. So 119.5 thousand US dollars, we are going to get 187 million of liquidations coming in the market. So yes, if we talk about the RSI, it's going to be slightly more bullish. If we talk about our Achler stochastic CG oscillator on the daily time frame, also it is going to be slightly more bullish. We know people are entering short positions exactly at the area of support, which technically speaking, if we want to wreck them, we need to see a short squeeze towards 119.4 thousand US dollar area. So let's see right now if we are going to see a bounce towards the upside, but if not, what is then going to be our next major price target? Simply, we are going to talk about our next major liquidity level that is going to come in exactly below the recent low. If Bitcoin right now is not going to see a bounce towards the upside, this right here is then going to be our next major price target, because it's going to be a very important liquidity level at 111.7 thousand US dollars. But as you clearly right to see on this specific chart, bigger liquidations are not going to be below this specific low, but actually above the highs at 119.4 thousand US dollars, literally almost exactly at our major price target of our B or X elite wave. So that is why I am telling to you, ideally I want a short squeeze. I definitely paid myself a little bit more with all of my short positions if of course right now we are going to see bounce towards the upside. And also maybe right now you're asking yourself, is this area where we are as of right now a good area for me to be looking for a long position? I would say like that, in terms of brand new trades, you need to ask yourself, after such a big push down, is it better to fire a long or a short position? I would definitely say it's much better for us to be looking for another long or a buy position on the Bitcoin chart itself with a very clear invalidation level in a case we are going to go lower. So we can be looking for another entry where Bitcoin is as of right now, stop loss exactly below the recent low in a case we do go lower, because of course if we are going to once again see a push towards downside, liquidity level at this specific area is probably going to be broken. But of course our target is then going to be our major liquidations cluster at approximately 119.4 thousand US dollars. Yes, this specific trade is going to give us approximately 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio. In my opinion, a very nice one. Let's see if Bitcoin does see a bounce towards the ups, but nevertheless, if we do go lower, make sure you manage your risk. Another major support level, in a case our liquidity level right here is going to then be broken, is then simply going to be, as we said, $108,000 US area on the Bitcoin chart itself. That is right why, if you want to trade with us, take the advantage of the free bonus, no KYC, no VPN, with the second link down below, and make sure you deposit very soon because the time is running out and you are going to get some very nice free bonuses. Also right now, thank you for smashing up the like button.